Okay, welcome back to Nothing in the Crib podcast. How are ya? God, rash my fucking back. Okay. Now, if you've at all been having to endure my Instagram stories, then I know what you're thinking. And you think I'm gonna make fun of the billionaires that died in the Titan Submarine. And you are 100% fucking correct. But first, a word from our sponsor, Big Tarvey. Just kidding. We are going to talk about this though. So I don't watch a lot of television, but I fucking love the show The Bear on FX. It's so good. It's so fucking good. If you've ever worked in a kitchen, it's so fucking good. And I'm not in a kitchen for the first time in literally 16 years. For the first time ever. And I really miss it. I miss the fucking chaos and I miss the fuckery. And Maddie Matheson's so fucking awesome and he does such a really good job with nailing everything about it. So I'm obsessed. And the season premiere for season 2 was on Thursday. So I'm in deep, and commercial comes on from one of Hulu's advertising partners, which is Big Tarvey. What is Big Tarvey, you ask? Big Tarvey is a drug used to treat HIV. Now, normally, nothing about this commercial would have fazed me in the least, because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I'm used to all manner of things about HIV and AIDS being on the TV, mostly derogatory, and, you know, the news for hate crimes and shit. But this commercial caught my eye because I realized that it's officially fucking happened. And it's like the cultural changing of the guard, so to speak. It's so fucking obvious that the people in control of shit right now at this very moment are all born in like 2000 and up. It's happened. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, because only someone who wasn't alive in the 80s and 90s would have no fucking idea how comically offensive this commercial is. Jimmy and I were watching it, and I was violently high, my preferred state of being, and this commercial comes on, and I lose my shit. And I scared the fuck out of him because I have a horrible laugh. It's so loud. And it was a commercial, so he wasn't prepped for a laugh at all, mentally, least of all fucking mine. But listen to me, HIV and AIDS, in the 80s, it was like people considered it just for gay people, gay men, and minorities, predominantly black people though, but like Dallas Buyers Club, which is a great fucking movie, and Matthew McConaughey gets HIV from 2 straight white hookers, and everybody starts calling him a fag, because that's how it was, that you were a gay man or you were black. So I grew up with that, like really, like there were hate crimes, it would be on the news, and it's so ingrained in my brain. So I was literally like incredulous when I was watching this commercial. I was like, is this fucking real life? Because this commercial is only gay men and black people. And then one Latino couple that is possibly trans. I couldn't figure it out. He is the groom. It's like they're getting married in like an Adobe. It's so strange. The groom's like a very petite, not masculine, 4'11" man, and the bride is like 6'4" and built like a defensive linebacker. and she has an entire back mural tattoo done, like mural, that you can see through the back of her wedding dress. And it's just strange. It's so strange. I couldn't figure it out. But that's okay, because obviously I'm going to show it to you, just in the hopes that anybody my age and up can find at all the reason why I was having such a struggle watching this. So, take a look.
Being me.
Keep being you and ask your healthcare provider about the #1 prescribed HIV treatment, Biktarvy.
Biktarvy is a complete one pill, once a day treatment used for HIV in many people, whether you're 18 or 80. With one small pill, Biktarvy fights HIV to help you get to undetectable and stay there, whether you're just starting or replacing your current treatment. Research shows that taking HIV treatment as prescribed and getting to and staying undetectable prevents transmitting HIV through sex. Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Rare, life-threatening side effects include a buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. Do not take Biktarvy if you take dofetilide or rifampin. Tell your healthcare provider about all the medicines and supplements you take if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Biktarvy without talking to your healthcare provider. Common side effects are diarrhea, nausea, and headache.
No matter where life takes you, Biktarvy can go with you. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
Well, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that's just, it's so in my brain, though. It's so in my brain. So I'm going to, of course, extrapolate on what I think personally happened here. I'm fairly certain that some idiot was like, okay, guys, out with the old, in with the new. We're going to revamp. And let's get some inclusion in this place for HIV commercials. It's disgraceful that in the past 20 years, HIV medication commercials contain like no black people and no gays. That's so unfair. It's just all straight whites. Just like oppression. It's like they're afraid to include gay people and blacks for some reason. The reason is because you haven't been born yet, by the way. So picture this. They're in the room, which is filled with calming corners and big beanbag chairs so people can decompress, and autism cubicles and those plastic square things that have the little pins that you can take rubber bands and stretch them to that hurt really bad if you fucking step on them. Just filled with that shit. And a group of fucking twinks are just sitting there, all super young, like 20-something, young 20s, 20 years old. And they all live in LA, completely detached from reality. Every fucking one of them. They live in their own bubble with the other twinks, and then they can't come up with anything. And then one day, one of them stands up and is like, guys, I've got it. And this one person is a them, whose name is Tooth. And Tooth says, guys, follow me. Stay with me here while I wave. Picture it. We flip the script and we make the entire commercial all gays and blacks and one minority couple that possibly is trans. Really piss everybody off. Like, shove the inclusivity down their fucking throats. And everyone's like, it's such a good idea. Do this, hero. Because that's it in the commercial. It's just gay men, black people, and one Hispanic couple that could be trans. I don't know. And that's it. As Maritza Rodriguez would say. That's it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to... There it is. Please go to that page and just fucking treat yourself if you're Italian or from New York or anything. It's fucking hilarious. Please. I love Giannis Papas. I've always loved him. But moving on. We live in a South Park episode, officially. This is it. I can't wait for it to come out, though, because it's probably already done. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are so fucking good. Oh, my God. That's the best cartoon that's ever been made. It's the best fucking thing in the world. So fucking funny because they're allowed to go so hard, which is why it's so fucking funny. And whenever they do an episode of this, I'm sure like tomorrow we'll be done with the sub. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. On a different note, do you guys want to know what you might have missed while we were all making sub memes last week? That was just why I have never in my life seen so many good memes, great fucking memes, and so fast. Holy shit. And then I immediately started seeing articles where they're like, this is what's wrong with the world, how researchers, they're telling, have telling evidence of the reaction to the sub memes is that people are on the decline. Fuck you. It's fucking funny. It's funny for so many reasons. But this is what you missed. Number 1. JP Morgan and Jeffrey Epstein emails, did you forget about those? Were released. If you are not familiar, JP Morgan had to pay out a giant fucking settlement for things related to their dealings with Epstein Island. And the emails that were tied to this, that they were forced to release the very next day, have been mistakenly deleted. It was 47 million emails. So those are just, see you later. Number 2, Joe Biden is undergoing an impeachment vote in the House. I'm not touching that one until more things happen because I have no fucking faith in anything happening there. 2-tier justice system at its fucking best. Number 3, the Pentagon finger fucked the proverbial cookie jar yet again of $6 billion to Ukraine. They miscalculated estimating the value of weapons. Lots of mistakes. Like, they just lose and misplace and fuck up a lot of shit that's super fucking important, and nobody gives a fuck. Like, why does nothing happen to those ass fucks? Oh, stay on topic, Sarah. Number 4. Go look this one up, please, and treat yourself. John Durham had his congressional hearing last week, regarding the Russia hoax. Go look at how all of those pieces ended up falling. And continue to tell me you have faith in anything. And number 5, America's sweetheart, Hunter Biden, gets a slap on the fucking wrist of a plea deal, like usual, for income tax and illegal weapons charges. I don't understand why people are so fucking, they're like I can't believe it. Why are you scandalized that the son of the president got a sweetheart deal? It's, again, 2-tier justice system. That's how it works. It's working perfectly. The one we have is working perfectly because it's a 2-tier justice system. If we had a regular 1-tier justice system, then you're right, this would be terribly fucking broken. But the one we have is not that, so it's not. And start, thinking of it that way, I think. But if anybody else had done that, you'd get like a minimum of 3 years in prison. There was I think it was a rapper or something. I saw something briefly. Don't remember what it was. But it was somebody speaking out. They had the exact same charge, and I'm pretty sure that's what they got was 3 years in prison. So, yeah. Not America's sweetheart. Not America's little crack baby. Simple Kyle, crack baby basketball. All right, I'll quit edging you guys and get on with it. Let's discuss the Titan Submersible, shall we? And we can delve into why nobody gave a fuck and why so many fire fucking memes came out so fast. People, I have not personally encountered anybody who's like scandalized that all of the finest levels of comedy were immediately shown. I saw some of the funniest fucking photoshops and funniest fucking memes I've ever seen in my life. This has been joyous. They're like, where's your compassion? This isn't bad taste. Do you want to know what else is in bad taste? Watching the video tour of the Titan that they have, and 2 seconds in realizing that multiple fucking people saw this exact same thing. Multiple people were given this exact same tour that we were given, that we saw. And the fact that not one fucking person was like, not the people touring it, but somebody around them who saw it was like, I don't know if you should get in there. Like, you want to talk about compassion. How's this for compassion? That entire boat, all the staff on the boat, everybody on the boat, watched those billionaires pile into that fucking sub that Stockton Rush ordered off Wish. Obviously. Including the controller. Like a Hunger Games Steve Zissou in the fucking Life Aquatic. Again, it looks like you're watching a fucking SNL skit. And no, this is real life. And then when you watch that they sealed the submarine, please tell me, please go find the video. When they show you how they sealed the submarine before it even went in the water, immediately you're like, oh, they died right away. If they had just showed the video of how they sealed the submarine, nobody would have believed all the bullshit about it being lost and we hear banging and they ran out of oxygen. Nobody would have believed that. As soon as you watch how they seal it shut, you're like, they fucking died immediately, because they sealed it by hand with a fucking socket wrench. Literally. I'm not fucking with you. Not one person on that boat said shit. Like, come on. Can you imagine being so disliked that not one person in that entire boat crew even remotely tried to talk them out of it? Because you know that at least like 5 of those dudes have watched The Abyss. Somebody working on a boat. I have. I love that movie. Probably more than once. And at least 2 of them gave a little on the side of that fucking thing. And then later, like in privacy, they were like, bro, did you fucking feel that thing? And the other one's like, I know, it's like a fucking Coke can. They're not even gonna make it fucking halfway. That's exactly what happened. And this is exactly why I went over all the happenings that transpired over the week, because the Navy all week long knew these fuckers died. But of course, they were demanded to keep quiet so that you had something to entertain you, so you missed everything else. What else is new? So that you missed everything else going on. So you paid attention to they knew exactly when that Pringle can fucking popped. Because it didn't happen very long after they took off. And for no one to have expected the fucking ISI whipped cream cartridge canister, that's exactly what it looks like, masquerading as a vehicle to implode is bullshit. Lots of people knew. One man who was supposed to go on the trip, who backed out with his son. Him and his son were supposed to go, and his son, what the fuck does he do? He does something where he is familiar with, just has half a fucking brain, essentially. And he was the one that started calling attention to all the shit wrong with it as soon as he fucking saw it, literally. And he started pulling up all the information and showing his father. His father immediately backed out. Stockton Rush was so trying to get them on this fucking thing that he like flew out to them. He offered to take money off, like $100,000 off the fucking ticket, because he desperately needed money for his own research. He had all this research he was trying to do, and that is where he was getting the funding for it. Just so you know why this all fucking transpired anyway. So this man who backed out, thankfully, with his son at the last minute, literally said he kept telling them that they were just like not knowledgeable about things. You're just not, misinformed. You're misinformed. Ringing any fucking bells? Fucking look at shit, read shit, and make your own goddamn decisions, please. Because this is, yes, comical as fuck, but also fucking awful. Unavoidable, more importantly. So fucking stupid. And the fact that they said that they could hear banging, like, really? Why do you guys do the most? You know why the Navy does the most? Because ever since they did that drag shit and, like, use that to promote it, like, they're doing the most like a fucking bitchy woman would. Like, we hear banging. Oh, we found pieces of the wreckage. And then, oops, sorry, guys, my bad. We were busy blowing each other because this latest Pride Navy campaign just has us all turning gay, so we're just blowing each other. And we heard this loud popping noise, but we didn't know what it was. Bullshit. I'm obsessed with creepy shit and scary shit in particular, and my favorite creepy shit is the stuff that's at the bottom of the ocean, because it's pitch black and it's freezing and the pressure is so great that it's unsurvivable by most things, and that's where they fucking live. And the shit that lives down there is wild looking. I love anglerfish and goblin sharks and like squid and shit. But because I love them and I've watched a shit ton of documentaries like forever and always, I distinctly, like, one of the most recurring themes in any documentary you watch about like deep sea shit is they go over how many cameras they lose of like the specialized deep sea cameras made just for that, because the pressure fucking crushes them and destroys them. So just you with that little teardrop of fucking knowledge, like, you knew those fuckers were not making it back. Don't act like it's a tragedy. Everybody should start acting like Hamish Harding's stepson, who completely understands that in moments like this, there's nothing to be done except go to a Blink-182 concert. This shit got so amazing so fucking fast. The second, oh my god, like, bro, just don't post anything. Don't post anything. You don't even have to post that big. Don't post a big thing about missing your fucking stepfather and then immediately post yourself at a concert and then immediately be telling an OnlyFans model to sit on your face or some shit. Like, do you know we can see you? Like, we can see you. Not that that's surprising, though, because I cannot imagine any scenario where the relationship between a billionaire and his full-grown stepson is, like, super loving. I feel like they're probably not that close. And I'm not bashing him. I love Blink-182. I would skip a lot of shit to fucking go to there. And there's a lot of people in my life who could be missing under any circumstances, really, not even tragic ones. And I'd probably still go to the concert. Book it. Also, guys, but there's 5 billionaire widows out there right now. Dudes. Somebody get on that. Get her done. I hope those women find young, attractive, dumb men who don't talk and bring them their Zoloft in peace. And their dicks work, and they play video games, and they like the 35-year-old stepkid because they're, like, super in common, except the stepkid's older. You know, he's, like, 27. I wish nothing but loveliness for those widows. I bet their lives were shit. I feel for the mother of the 19-year-old. I do. Because that's fucked up. But the trademark of billionaires is not traditionally being great family men. Let's be honest about that. I think it's quite the opposite. They're not billionaires because they're home so much and spend tons of quality time with their kids, okay? So I hope even just one of those women has been living with a monster. Just a fucking prick. And I hope after she got that call, she was like... So again, I wish nothing but loveliness for the women. And I'm happy that as the sub memes are winding down, the RFK Jr. shirtless ones are cranking up. He's a tremendously fit 7-year-old. Also, for a fucking science denier. Again, I'll say it again. That man must be protected at all fucking costs. His interview with Joe Rogan was fucking exceptional. And I cannot recommend it enough. It explains a lot of shit. And if you don't know a lot about stuff, just fucking listen to it. Oh my God. No matter what, if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, even though I don't think you should be either one of those fucking things. He is to Democrats, in my opinion, like what Tulsi Gabbard is to Republicans, which is the perfectly centered, rational realm that most Americans fucking reside in. I would love to see Joe Biden be punched in the face by RFK Jr. though, because it would do so much fucking damage and it'd be so fucking funny. He'd kill him. He would go down. He'd literally die. I'm so excited also. I really hope that Elon and Mark Zuckerberg fucking fight, because that better happen. I love Elon and I hate Zuckerberg, but I'll have to watch them rolling recently or something, because Elon got stuck for a minute there, and no matter how much people want to deny it, being chonky really damages your shit and sets you back. So I'd have to see how long he's been in shape for before I make a prediction. I am extremely good when I take shitloads of mushrooms at predicting and calling the UFC fight. We watch UFC every weekend. Calling the fights. I have a pretty good accuracy rate, but I have to watch a little bit on this one. Because again, being overweight is not good for you. Louder for the people in the fucking back. Sick of that shit too. Well, no, I'm not going to get into that rant right now. That'll take us way off base. All right. Well, until the next comical thing happens, and until next week, thanks for joining us at Nothing in the Crib podcast. All right. Love you. Bye.